If you like the art on the thumbnail for this video, well, guess what? You can own it. Just check out the link in the description for the Gohan Potential Restored merch line celebrating Gohan's re-emergence as the main character of this movie in Dragon Ball. And you can get not just shirts, but hoodies and different kinds of shirts in different colors and sizes. Pick yours up because they're flying only for a limited time. This is a great design from Dead Dark, and I think it looks cool. Check it out. Let's get to the video. There's been a lot of content produced lately surrounding Dragon Ball Superhero here on the Geekdom 101 channel and other places on the internet covering different leaks and releases and whatnot. And there's been a lot of changes too throughout the past few months and lots of new information to come out. So as promised, I talked about this the other day because I know some of you guys can't watch every video. You're busy with your work or school or whatever you might have going on in your life. What I've decided to do is compile all of the leaks that have come out so far for this movie here on this video and make it easy so you can come back to this video so you can know what's going on. Currently, the movie's set to come out in about 4.5 days. And while I do have some information on the film, I don't have everything. There's a lot of information about this movie that has not come out yet. We're going into this not knowing much about it. With Broly, it was kind of different. There was a lot of talk internally. There was people who I was talking to at the time that were either working on the film or working on it, like either in Japan or outside of Japan in various different countries. This movie, however, has a totally different team working on it because of the different technology. It's more of an experimental film. So with this video, I'm going to be going into every spoiler that's come out for the movie in case you have missed the stream or missed a video I put out going into details. Plus, I'm going to go more into the final battle and things I haven't talked about yet. Now, if more information comes out after this video, I'll obviously be doing videos on it, so make sure that you hit subscribe and enable notifications, hit the like button as well. I have a lot of videos coming out in the next, well, for a while, but I'm saying a lot this week about this movie. But this video is going to be the correct compilation of all the spoilers and some corrections I have to make based on what was previously reported. So without any further ado, we're going to go into it now. Again, this is not the full plot yet. We'll have that for you later this week when the movie is actually screened publicly. There is no early screening for this film like with Broly and Resurrection F. It's just being kept a secret from everyone. So there's not much information out there. So let's go ahead and get to it now. I made a little notepad document here that's going to go through plot points and spoilers for the film, clarifying everything for you. Okay, so first of all, Gohan confirmed to have a bigger role in lead. I covered that almost a year ago in August when I was told that Gohan would have a bigger role in this movie. He is the main character, but it's not just a Gohan story. Pan and Piccolo are also involved. It says here the movie will be 100 minutes long. So I previously reported back in April it was anywhere between 80 to 95 minutes. It's 100 minutes, or it's 99 minutes, give or take a few for credits. That's the same length as Dragon Ball Super Broly, right? So it's about the same length, but as I wrote in the third bullet point here, much more story, content, and dialogue than DBS Broly. DBS Broly, the second half is just one big fight. With this movie, there's a lot more story content. There's a lot more character stuff in this film as opposed to that one. So, and also I want to talk about that 100 minutes thing real quick. When I reported 80 to 90 minutes, that was prior to the postponement of the film. That was before it got postponed from April to June. So during that time, they had to, to add things to the movie. They may have added a few more minutes to it to make it longer. I really don't know, but I'm not complaining. 100 minutes, I think, is fine. And then I wrote here, as much of a Piccolo story as a Gohan story. I was told that a while ago, and Piccolo has a huge role in this movie. Maybe the biggest in any movie he's played since the Z era. The early Z era at that. No mention of Moro or Granola. This movie stands on its own. It's not tied into the Moro or Granola arcs, so there's not really any mention of it. Obviously, the question's been on everybody's mind about where it takes place, and it seemingly based on the time, like the timeline of Dragon Ball, it takes place probably after Granola or after whatever arc is after the Granola arc, but I don't know 100% on that because they change these things all the time. So, but it's good to know there's no mention of them in this movie, which will go on to another point later on. I mentioned here first act, which is the first 30 minutes of the movie, feature a lot of Piccolo and Pan and Red Ribbon updates like Red Pharmaceuticals. We go into like what's going on with Red Ribbon. They introduce Dr. Hito, Carmine, and Magenta and Camo 1 and 2. A version of Android 21 in the film, but not Android 21. That was discussed and leaked by DBS Chronicles and DBS Hype, so credit goes to them. Nobody told me anything about Android 21. Probably because she has a different name in this movie. It's not really her. I don't have more context to that than what I've already talked about, but there's a cameo from the human version, I guess, a version of Android 21. I am curious about where that story goes as well. Scene with Videl telling Piccolo to pick up Pan from school because Gohan is too busy studying stuffed animal jokes here. That was actually covered as one of the 30-second promo videos where, yeah, Videl's teaching martial arts and Piccolo has to go pick up Pan from school. So, you know, the Piccolo and Pan, like Piccolo being the babysitter, the uncle of the family, is in full force here. Piccolo chastises Gohan for not taking his training seriously and relying on his dad and Vegeta, which is, once again, we're going through that again with Gohan. I'm kind of annoyed by that because it seems like this happens to Gohan every couple years and he doesn't learn from it. Hopefully in this movie it'll be different, but I haven't seen the movie yet. And I've told you guys that a million times. I have not seen the movie with my own eyes. The information I've gotten is third-party information from those who have worked on the film, different aspects of it, and obviously leakers. So I don't know what the context of that is, and we won't know until the movie comes out. Please remember that, because people always take my words and misconstrue and say Geekdom said this, Geekdom said that, when you have to realize that I haven't seen the movie contextually, so I don't know how these things play out. You know what I mean? And one person's perspective of a scene may be different than somebody else's. You have to always remember that and think more abstractly when it comes to these kinds of things. Piccolo sneaks in the Rebel Army headquarters and discovers they're planning something bad. That's actually part of the plot that was released, the summary, and that's confirmed for the film. Goku, Vegeta, and Broly have small parts in the film and will not be in the final battle. They are in the movie, we know that already, but they're not involved in the final battle. Goku will not show up to save Gohan. Not based on what I heard. Gohan will have to do it with Piccolo. It ain't going to be no Goku Vegeta Deus Ex Machina situation. Goku and Vegeta will not transform into UI or UE. That's 2 movies in a row we don't see Goku use the actual Ultra Instinct in battle. And Vegeta does not use UE. It's all training stuff on Beerus' planet. Beerus' flirtation scene with Chilai also has limited scenes along with Whis. There's a comedic joke there about Beerus and Chilai that I don't know if that's going to move on to Broly getting mad. I couldn't even tell you, but that's just played up for comedy, typical Toriyama gag humor. Gohan is at least 3 fights, including the final battle. I talked about that as well. We're going to see Gohan in at least 3 fights. We're going to get to the final battle more later in this video. Piccolo will turn larger at some point. That's, I think, in the final battle where Piccolo will use technique he has not used since Dragon Ball. I would say he used it a little bit in the Guard Jr. saga where he got bigger, and a little bit in the Lord Slug movie, but not like how he did it in Dragon Ball, where he just increased his size in the Mechian technique. He will be using it in this film. I don't know how big he gets, but he does use it. Piccolo loses to Kama to ask Dende to unlock all his power, but Dende does not know how to do that, so he tells him to ask the dragon. So the Dragon Ball wishes. Piccolo goes to Dende, says, hey, I need you to unlock my power like what the Grand Elder did on Namek and the old Kai did to Gohan. Dende does not know how to do that, so he tells him, why don't you just ask the dragon? The dragon does do it. So I wrote here, Piccolo wishes to unlock his power, aka Ultimate Piccolo. Bulma wishes for a bigger butt and longer eyelashes. So that's, again, excuse me, that is a gag scene in the film. Teen Fat Gotenks confirmed for a gag scene. Goten and Trunks have grown up, of course. We've seen that. And Teen Gotenks, as the fat version, will be in this movie. I do not know if Gotenks, the proper fusion, the not fat Teen Gotenks, will appear. I don't think he does. But I don't know. But I don't think he does. So don't go into this movie expecting that. because I don't think it's going to happen. Now, we're going to go on to the final villain here. I talked about this a couple days ago. Cell Max is his name, confirmed to be the final boss of the film. This is a new creation and a dangerous technology. Well, I wrote a new creation with new and dangerous technology, not in direct relation or resurrection of old Z Cell. This is not the Cell from Dragon Ball Z. They don't bring him back to life. This is Dr. Hito and the whole Red Ribbon clique. You know, really the one behind this is Magenta. He's the one who's really driving this, from what I understand. And it's not a resurrection of Z Cell. It's a new creation, like a mutated new cell. Think about Cell X, except not Cell X, but it's obviously inspired by Cell X. And I wrote here, not absorbing energy from the Earth's core. And I wrote, this was a mistranslation of what I said when we first saw the aura base. I did a video a while back and recently in my stream where I talked about the absorption of the Earth's core energy. That was something I had read publicly way back, like months ago, but now I'm being told that this cell does not take power from the Earth's core. So that could be what's powering up, like, the technology around it, but I'm not 100% sure on that either. But I do know that he doesn't absorb anybody in this movie. All right, so real quick, I want to cut in here because I recorded most of this video earlier in the day on Saturday, and I had totally forgot. I actually talked to Hype and Chronicles about this, but I forgot to put it in the video, so I'm cutting into the video right now. Another spoiler is how Cell Max gets released, and I talked a little bit about this in my stream a few days ago, but Hype writes the following. In the movie, Magenta is the one who activates the ultimate evil. He wants to activate it, but Hito is against it and tries to stop him because Hito is not done with brain control. I'll explain that in a minute. If the ultimate evil is activated right now, he will go berserk, but Magenta activates him anyway. So basically, and I talked about this on the stream, Dr. Hito's creating this Cell Max creature, but right now it's just an unfinished version. It's a prototype. Much more powerful than the original Cell with new technology. Magenta gets desperate, activates Cell Max, and Hito's like, no, he's not ready yet. But he doesn't give a damn. Magenta doesn't give a damn. So he activates Cell X anyways, and the Cell X that comes out, from what I understand, and this is something that he does not talk about, but I'm going to tell you, as far as I've heard, he has no speaking roles. He just growls, and this is not a rematch between Gohan and Cell. Cell Max is a different creature based on Cell, but Cell Max is like just a monster, just a mutated, like unfinished monster that they lose control of. And so it becomes this thing where Dr. Hito realizes, like, and I talked about this on the stream, like Jurassic Park, you know, just because we have technology to make something that's great does not mean we should, because yeah, you might think it's great, but it's also greatly dangerous to the existence of the world, which is what Cell Max is. He's a giant, just monster that could kill people by the millions. You know what I'm saying? Like, quickly, maybe even, no, faster than that, I would say. Way more than by the millions. So, but you get my point, right? He's very dangerous. And, but Magenta's the one who's like, screw it, I'm going to activate him. And that's going to cost him. There have not been any scenes of this released in any of the trailers yet. Hopefully we will get it, but there's been nothing from this yet released. So that's another big spoiler for the movie. Let me get back to, now we're going to cut back to the pre-taped earlier part of the video. It's not like the old Cell where he had to absorb 17 and 18. This is a brand new creation. So as far as I know, the gammas do not get absorbed. The RR base is either two bases or two parts to one big base. I mentioned that in my stream also. The Red Ribbon base has two parts to it, two separate bases. So we're going to see combat probably in both of them. And then I wrote Badass Gohan to make a comeback. That's for the Gohan fans from the Cell Saga who want to see that Gohan come back. He is a tough guy in this movie. And then the last bullet point, not all villains will die. So I also mentioned that in the final battle, it's going to be multiple people fighting, not just one. Very different from Gogeta Blue versus Broly. I teased that months ago, and that is what I have heard for months consistently, that the final battle will be several characters involved trying to tame this cell, and other people are going to be there too. But I have not seen this, and they have not released any actual footage of this yet. Not yet, not as of this video. We'll probably get more, you know, in the coming days. And then the last bullet point here is not all villains will die. So of the Red Ribbon Brigade of the new characters, which include Camo 1, Gamma 2, Cell Max, Carmine, Magenta, and Dr. Hito, They're not all going to get wiped out. So should the story continue past this, whether it be anime, manga, or movie, there's going to be some remnants left behind. So that's pretty much the entire summary of spoilers for the film. We will have a full plot synopsis probably by the end of the week. I might even stream on it because there's a lot of stuff that we got to discuss when it comes out. And of course, we'll all go see the movie. There's no early screenings for this film. There's no premieres that I'm aware of, except for when it comes out in Japan, probably because the restrictions on the pandemic are still pretty high up there. So it's not going to be like Broly. I can't just get all the information early like last time. I am like you guys, waiting to find out what else is going to happen in this movie because it is 100 minutes. A lot is going to happen. A lot of story stuff. So thank you again for your support. Hit subscribe, like it. Have a great one. Take care.